Yo, we're back again today, guys. Yo, what's up with y'all? Yo, we back again today, and today we're going to be talking about something that I guess would help you, because I had very little help. Well, I mean, I had a little bit of help with my family member that was a vegan as well, or is vegan now, but I guess I want to give a little bit of info and talk about my journey quickly, because your boy's running around about me becoming a vegetarian and a vegan. Now, I became a vegetarian first. I didn't go straight from eating meat to being a vegan, but I went from being a meat eater to a vegetarian, and then that still ate dairy products. And if you don't know the difference between a vegan and vegetarian, even though there's different kind of vegans, difference between vegetarian and vegan is that vegans can still eat dairy products while vegans don't eat dairy products. So in case you ever wondered, because I didn't used to know either. But I guess my journey is at the beginning of my journey about 5 years ago. So basically what happened is that me and my cousin do a lot of research on a lot of different things, as you guys know, right? Whether it be African history, Black history, whether it be history in general, whether it be space, the universe, health, whatever, right? It's your temple. So in this life, you have to be well balanced. You have to study everything. Anything you want to know about, you study it, and you try to figure it out, right? So when we were growing up, everybody ate meat, right? But when I was younger, my father stopped us from eating pork. So I haven't eaten pork for like, man, 20 something odd years now. So pork has always been gone anyways. But about 4 or 5 years ago, me and my cousin were just doing more research and getting more conscious about things, and eventually we did research on food and just processed foods in general, but more so even the meats after that, as far as like how the establishment in America that handles the food, handles the food and handles the meat and how they go about doing the meat. Probably not all of the establishments, but a lot of them, how they handle the meat, how they pump them up with steroids, how they are putting things in our body that we really shouldn't have in our body as human beings, or at least we haven't grown a resistance to them in our body yet. I guess I could say, because who knows, a lot of people are eating it, so just 2 generations from now, maybe your body will grow resistance for a lot of things that might give us cancer or whatever, right? So or whatever it might be, whatever disease or side effects that they have, right? So basically a couple years ago, me and my cousin, we stopped eating meat, right? So at first, it was beef, because I was over one of my friend's house and I was eating this beef, and it was very fatty. It was really fatty, and I never liked fat anyway. I wasn't the type of person, even when I ate meat, that liked to eat fat, and so it was very fatty. So that sort of turned me off from that meat, which was beef, but just started turning me off from a lot of meats, because I ate a lot of fat, and it started turning me off a lot. But first, it was beef that I got rid of, right? And beef is actually almost just as bad as pork, if not worse. I don't know. I mean, it's up and down, right? Whoever you talk to, but beef is almost as bad as pork, right? And so, especially more so in the Western Hemisphere, more so even in America, to make it specific about how much of a meat-eating country we are, and how much meat that we consume, right? More than we don't really have a balanced diet. Not all of us, but a lot of us don't have a balanced diet, and that also, goes into or what goes into that is also, how much money you make, how much, how much you're aware about the food, if you even care. It's a lot of things that go into it. So I'm not saying that everybody has the choice to eat healthy or whatever, but because we're in a country that is based around meat and money, so therefore your food is not always going to be the healthiest food when money starts to weigh into the equation, right? How much money they can make. So anyways, I cut out beef. Now at the time I didn't eat pork already, so let me tell you that. And then beef, so therefore me not eating pork might have made it a little bit easier for me to do to transcend to a vegetarian, but I still ate a lot of meat. So I'm pretty sure that if you love one meat, you probably like another. Even if you hate it, you love meat in general, right? If you're eating more meats than you're not. So therefore, like I said, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was only at one point, after I got rid of beef, right? We got rid of pork when I was a kid. Got rid of beef, right? After that, I was only eating chicken, turkey, and fish, right? So after that, I was eating chicken, turkey, and fish, and actually, I never really liked fish when I grew up, to be truly honest with you. But then when I started to only eat turkey and chicken, I started to like fish because I had one bad fish. And so therefore I started to actually try fish again, because I had a bad experience with it years ago. It wasn't a fish that wasn't cooked right, or maybe I just didn't like it. It was really fishy. I don't really know what it was, but it was when I was younger and it turned me off. I think it was because it just had like a really, I think it was catfish, and it had like a really bottom feeder, muddy, whatever taste to it that I just really couldn't get grasp onto, right? And even fish, as of recently in the last couple of years, has turned me off and turned me on, right? I like fish more than I ever did in the last couple of years, right, when I was eating meat and stuff, but it still wasn't my favorite thing to eat, rather than eating chicken or turkey or any other kinds of land meat, right? So anyways, I was eating turkey, fish, and chicken at the time. Now then I got rid of chicken, and I got rid of chicken first because I don't know. I don't really remember exactly, but I think I got rid of chicken because I just got rid of it and I stopped eating it because I stopped eating a lot of fried food, especially now I'm vegan. Most of my foods are either baked or I try to, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do consume fried foods, but it's very rare. And if I do, I'm like, well, it's because I'm someplace and I don't want to be disrespectful. Not that I'm always going to eat what everybody has, just not to be disrespectful. But sometimes I'm just like, well, it's an OG, it's an elder, whatever. I'll have, a fried mushroom or some fried mushrooms, or I'll have fries or whatever, right? But when it's under my control 100%, I don't eat no fried foods. I bake. So therefore, that leaves me with turkey and fish. Now, turkey actually was one of the hardest things to let go because I really enjoy turkey. I really love turkey a lot, and it's as far as what I know, I could be wrong, but it's a very lean meat, right? Or that's what I perceive it as, and I like turkey. Not necessarily non-organic turkey at the time, but I wasn't into organic or not organic. I was just growing up and eating whatever. So therefore, after that, I was only eating fish. Now, once I was eating fish, which was very hard for me to even break fish, and fish was sort of hard because at one point I was a pescatarian before I turned vegetarian, even though I didn't know that there was even the name for just eating fish and everything else non-meat, which is pescatarian, whatever, right? So I was a pescatarian for a little bit of time, and actually when I was a vegetarian, I was actually still a pescatarian and a vegetarian. I would still eat fish, and I would still be, I'm a vegetarian, but I would still eat fish from like every couple of months. I would be like, oh, it's a fish sandwich, I'm out, whatever, and it's late at night, and I'm hungry, and I'll eat the fish sandwich, right? So sometimes it's not necessarily even good, all these labels that we even give each other, but if we're going to stay with the labels, this is, we're labeling a certain lifestyle, I guess, or whatever, right? So I was pescatarian, then I turned vegetarian. Now, when I turned vegetarian, like I said, I still was eating fish from time to time, but not that much and especially going towards the end of when I was going towards being a vegan. And the funny thing about it is that when I was a vegetarian, the first couple of weeks were hard, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, the first like 3 or 4 months were very hard because you have to reprogram yourself. You have to start finding new dishes to cook or finding new establishments to eat at, and that's the hardest part. That's why a lot of people turn back and they say it's hard. But sometimes when I used to work out, I used to feel so like have no energy, but you know why? It wasn't because I wasn't consuming meat. It was because I didn't know how to get the essential acids that my body was asking for outside of meat, right? So when you eat peanuts, when you eat any kind of nuts, that's protein. When you eat proteins, first of all, proteins in every food, right? It's just the amount of abundance of how much it is in the food, and also how much you have to eat of it to get the same whatever, and the pros and cons of it. So meat has a lot of pros and cons, right? Meat has a really, really quick protein boost, but it also has cons, right? You have to worry about bacteria, you have to worry about diseases, you have to worry about how the meat was raised and things of that nature. Now, fruits and vegetables are sort of the same way. If they're not organic, then it's sort of kind of the same thing. You're eating a lot of chemical stuff, and I'm not saying that you can always eat everything organic, but also when you eat meat, it's dead already, right? And you got to understand that once something's dead, when bacteria sets in, and that's why they freeze it and this and that, right? But when you eat fruits or vegetables, they're alive, or they're pretty much alive. I'm not saying they're 100% alive as they were maybe on the vine, but they're still living, right? They're living and you're consuming life. So when you consume life, you're putting life into yourself because you want life. When you consume death, you're putting death in your body. So you can only imagine what that gives you, right? I'm not trying to say anything's bad about it, either way you go about it, but I'm just saying that's something for you to think about. So therefore, the first couple of months and weeks were very, very hard, I'm not gonna lie, but as the months went along and I started to learn more dishes, right, vegan substitutes, I would stay away from soy as much as you can, especially soy milk. I don't know why somebody gave me soy milk the first time I was trying to become a vegetarian. A lot of people do. I would say no, give a person almond milk or rice milk because they're going to hate soy milk. Not all, but majority are going to hate it, and they're gonna be like, what are you guys even eating over here, right? And soy is only one bean, so rice and almond milk, especially almond milk, I would highly suggest. Second of all, I would suggest a lot of beans, right? When you eat dishes, a lot of beans. And if you don't like beans, I would substitute with a lot of nuts, right? Throughout the day, almonds, cashews, a lot of broccoli, a lot of avocado. These are other proteins that you can eat, because protein is only an acid that your body needs. You don't have to have it from meat, right? It's just about getting that protein in your body to satisfy your body. And therefore, obviously, taste comes into the equation, because a lot of people are eating for taste. But to be honest with you, I eat for life first, and then I eat for taste. And now I'm getting taste out of all the things that people say, oh, you can't get taste. What do you eat, cardboard, blah, blah. I get all these jokes all the time. It don't really hurt me, but some people it does hurt. But I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be healthy, or I'm trying to at least, like, when I eat, when I get full, I don't feel like I want to sleep. I feel like I'm energy, and I have energy, right? So anyways, those first couple of weeks, couple of months are going to be hard unless you're around a lot of people that just know how to be a vegan or vegetarian, and they can expose you to that world and give you different substitutes like almond cheese, almond milk, nuts and beans, broccoli, avocados, all these other different kind of proteins, and all these vegetables and fruits that are not even in America. Maybe you can look into these exotic fruits and vegetables that are protein based as well, things. So therefore, that was the hardest part, was the first couple of months. But if you can get past that, the first couple of months, man, I'm telling you, it will make you feel better. Your lifestyle, dropping weight, for the most part, always having energy, and also always listening to your body, right? Because there's times, sometimes I don't have energy. Now that's me, because I don't eat as much as maybe I should, but I've got myself programmed to only eat once or twice a day, most of the time one time a day, because I'm running around so much. But if you truly listen to your body, sometimes it's good for your body to not crash all the way, but crash somewhat, so you can listen to what your body needs. So then when you eat that salt, then you're like, oh, my body needs this. Or then when you eat that fruit, it's like, oh, my body needs this potassium. Then you truly learn your body. Because when you have an abundance of nutrients, it's good, but I don't feel like you ever learn your body. Throughout your whole life, you have abundance of nutrients, you never learn your body. So once you get those abundance of nutrients and you start to learn your body, the next big thing, right? So when I was a vegetarian, I still ate dairy products, but to be truly honest with you, and you're probably not going to think this is the truth, maybe it was for me, and I'm not, and to be truly honest with you, there's not a lot of cheese in African American culture, to be truly honest with you, with a lot of our dishes, but people still do use cheese. I mean, it's not the main, ingredient in a lot of African American cuisine and dishes and soul food, but it still is there. And I think I could be wrong, but I feel like being African American that grew up in the north of the United States, I feel like we consume more like European foods, right? Like more like pastas and more subs and more pizza and things like that, compared to African Americans in the South, where I think that they're eating more just like African American food, like soul food a lot and things of that nature, and different kind of foods obviously, but soul food is more so than I think we even are up here, even though our parents are cooking it. But a lot of times we eat like pasta and pizza and more Europeanized foods. Not saying that they don't either, but I don't know, I could be wrong about that. But we're up north, and I feel like we have a lot of pasta and pizza and spaghetti and all that kind of stuff, right? So anyways, but when I was a vegetarian, it was so hard for me to break cheese. I mean, literally, I think cheese might have been more hard for me to break than meat, to be truly honest with you, because I sort of did a cold turkey, not a cold turkey with meat, but I sort of let's not say I did a cold turkey, but I sort of glided down really fast with meat. I was like, look, I don't want to be eating meat really soon for a long time, after this time period. And then after that, I'd say like a month or two after that, I just stopped eating meat altogether, other than fish, right? And then that even went down quick. So cheese to me was the hardest thing to give up. Now, I'm not saying you have to go past the stage of being a vegetarian. You can be a vegetarian and stop there and eat cheese, and you don't have to do anything else other than that and just be a vegetarian. But if you're going to go to that next stage of being a vegan, the cheese for me was the hardest thing to let go. Now, at the time, I didn't know about almond cheese. I didn't know about, I already had almond milk, so I wasn't really too worried about that in the cereal, because I like cereal. I don't eat it all the time, but I like to have it from time to time. But almond cheese was the thing that I knew nothing about, right? And even soy cheese, I knew about it a little bit, but I was like, maybe it might not taste that good. I had some a little bit, I didn't really like it. So almond cheese was really, really good. And I'm pretty sure they make cashew cheese. I'm pretty sure they make a lot of different cheeses. And so I would say if you're going from a vegetarian to vegan, there's different kind of vegans, raw vegans, cooked vegans. Some vegans will say that they won't even eat honey because that's produced by an animal. I love honey, so I don't think I'll ever stop eating honey. But but to each his own. Whoever wants to be whichever way they want to be, right? And I'm a mix between a raw vegan and cooked vegan. Sometimes I'll just eat a whole bunch of raw stuff, vegetables and fruits, and I'll feel okay. And then sometimes I'll eat cooked stuff because that's what I want to do. But I would really suggest almond cheese. Almond cheese is really good, or cashew cheese. I really love almond cheese. You know what I do a lot? I make more so recently. I buy like organic bread or whatever I can buy, right? The best bread I can buy, even though a lot of bread is not really good for you. A lot of bread, but I try to buy the best bread I can buy. And what I do is I put vegan butter, right? I forget the brand. The brand is called it came out of my mind, but it's not, I can't believe it's not butter, but something like that, right? It's I forget what it is. I use it all the time, but it's at Kroger's, and it will be like right under the vegan, where it's not butter, it's made out of all vegetables, whatever. So therefore, what I do, I used to put coconut oil, but sometimes I do that, but what I do is I put vegan butter down, and when I put vegan butter on the pan, then I'll put 2 slices of bread, and I'll put the vegan cheese in between, and then put it on the pan, and sear it a little bit or whatever, fry it, and then flip it over a little bit, and then I'm telling you, grilled cheese, like vegan grilled cheese, and minestrone soup, or tomato soup, delicious, especially in the wintertime too. It's so good, and I do that a lot. And I also have a side of applesauce with it too, organic applesauce with cinnamon, and I also put some chia seeds on top of everything I eat. And chia seeds, they're these really small seeds, and there's a lot of different kind of nuts and seeds that a lot of people don't know about that can give you a lot of protein. I mean, I want to say that a chia seed gives you and I could be tripping, right? Because I'm not looking at the back of the package, but I'm pretty sure like the chia seed says something like 4 grams of protein per tablespoon. No, per teaspoon. I want to say it's teaspoon. Is it tablespoon or teaspoon? I want to say it's teaspoon. And if that's 4 grams per teaspoon, I have to look at it again when I get home to see if I'm telling the truth. But if it's 4 grams for every tablespoon, that's a lot of protein out of these little seeds. I mean, these seeds are like so small. They're called chia seeds, chia seeds, and you can pick them up from the store, and they give you so much protein. So at the end of the day, protein means a lot, right? Protein, but every other acid in your body also means a lot. Calcium means a lot. With the almond milk, you get calcium. There's, it's a balance of a lot of things, but just because you don't eat meat doesn't mean that you're going to lose your protein or lose this and that, because there's vegan bodybuilders. There's bodybuilders that are vegan that eat way more than I do, and that are way bigger than I am, like 250, 260, 70 pounds, that are vegan bodybuilders, and some are 190, 200, whatever, right? So it's about how much you give your body, not necessarily that if you're eating meat or you're not eating meat or whatever. So that is a little bit of help for you guys. If you need any more help, obviously you can ask me. I'm a vegan now. I'm a mixed vegan, right? I don't even know if that's a word, but I cook half. Sometimes I eat raw. It doesn't really matter to me. I get to the point where it's like food I want to consume, my body's asking for it, I'm putting it in. I mean, I get to the point to where it's like, some people are like, I don't eat this like this, I don't do this like that, I don't do like that. At the end of the day, you do need the nutrients for your body, but you always want to try to put the most safe nutrients and proteins and any kind of thing in your body that you can have as natural as possible that you can have, because a lot of us are mineral deficient as well, but that's another story for another day. But also, I was going to say, a lot of pink sea salt too. I cook with a lot of pink sea salt. I put it on my spaghetti that I make. Mushrooms are really, really good for protein. I get organic mushrooms. Sometimes I'll make like portobello sandwiches. I throw a little coconut oil on the pan, put sear it for a little bit, fry it for a little bit, and then put a portobello in there, cook the portobello a little bit, put a portobello, bam, it's delicious, you would love it. And then put some ketchup and mustard, even if you wanted to, some vegan cheese on there, so you're getting a lot of protein, a lot of calcium, things of that nature. So becoming a vegetarian/vegan, or just vegetarian, is not as hard as you think it is. It just takes a lot of research, and like anything, you have to study it, like the resale value of a car, or the resale of a house after you renovate it, or whatever it is, right? Or your homework, or learning about a new culture or space. You have to do some research, and this is a big life change for somebody that either comes from a country that's more so meat eaters, or has just been eating meat their whole life. There's some people that come from countries that majority of the country it's not a meat eating country. For the most part, it's more of a vegetarian based country, and they're they're happy. I mean, it's not a hard transition because they already come from places like that. But America is more of a meat eating country, so therefore, for anybody living in America or any country that's more of a meat eating country, I know it might be hard, but with a little bit of research, there's always forums. There's people that would probably love to help that are vegans and vegetarians. I mean, every vegan or vegetarian I know, they love talking about it because, you know, majority of people are not, especially in America. So it's a thing that you guys can talk about and exchange information with. And, you know, I thought that would be nice for me to share with you guys my journey from being a meat eater to a vegetarian, or a pescatarian to a vegetarian to a vegan. And, you know, so you can't be safe with everything is what I'm going to tell you also. There's going to be some nights where you might go out and you might have a drink, or you might do other curricular activities or whatever it might be, or you might just be so freaking hungry that you just want to eat something, right? But it's not about cold turkey. That's the thing. And you shouldn't hate yourself or down yourself if you eat something that you're not supposed to eat or you don't want to eat, but try to not to eat it. But if you have to eat it once in a while, I mean, so you won't turn back, do it. I'm not one of the people that's going to be like, don't eat nothing at all, don't do this. Especially during the transition phase, try to implement more of the vegetarian, vegan things into your diet, but also eat meat, but slowly make the meat smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and try to find something, if you really love meat, that will replace your meat. I also eat a lot of vegan hot dogs, and I also eat a lot of vegan hamburgers that I make, black bean burgers, very delicious. Takes a while to get, to get them to the right consistency and cook them the right way and all this kind of stuff. But once you get it, it's delicious. Especially vegan hot dogs, man, it's beautiful. Put some vegan butter down, fry them a little bit, or pan sear them or bake them. I'm usually bake them, but lately I've been frying them a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but not to where it's like black, just to where it's like a little bit whatever, But yeah, try those vegan hot dogs. They're definitely good as well. And there's so many options out here nowadays. People are vegan and been vegetarian, vegan for a long time now, especially more in America. So, definitely check it out. I'm gonna stop rambling now, but I wanted to share with you guys experience, and maybe if you would like to become vegan or vegetarian, I can help you, and I can share with you what I do on a daily basis and maybe help you out. So as always, to all my people, peace, one love.
What's up, what's up?
Hey.
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.